Oh, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this week's CEO Sit Down with Jan. I have something that some of you might get triggered by, but it's imperative that as your coach, even if only here on Facebook, that you know the truth. And the reason that your listings linger is because you market as if you're looking for one buyer. I remember when I was a beginning listing queen, and I wasn't quite solid on sharing the why of how I came up and the why, um, why I arrived or how I arrived at my suggested list price for my sellers. And the common theme that sellers would say to me is this. They would say, well, we only need one buyer, right? I'm only going to sell my house to one person. So let's go ahead and try that crazy list price that they wanted me to try, right? And ladies, there are 4 layers deep that I'm going to share with you in 15 minutes because I have to leave here in 15 minutes to go pick up one of my VIP clients because it's her VIP day today and she's meeting me here at the house, at my house. And we're going to really dive into her business. So, the reason that your listings linger is because your marketing and your approach to the listing is to get one buyer. All right. So I want you to just write down, it's my perspective. It's my perspective. Because I want you to think about when there is a frenzy on a listing, what creates a frenzy? And a frenzy is more than one, like many. They're like a frenzy. Look up the definition. It's like it gets a lot of attention. Auction homes, because why? Because the starting bid on an auction home is quite low. And so it grabs the qualified motivated buyer's attention. And then when they call you, you have to say, okay, this is the beginning bid. It is not going to go for anywhere near that price. Yet it grabs attention. Secondly, I want you to think about new builds, new home builds. What do they do? Now, I don't particularly think this is highest integrity. And so I'm not suggesting you do this, but hear me out because I'm putting the puzzle pieces together. They take pictures of beautiful model homes. What's going on? Beautiful model homes. And then they put the base price. And what it does is it is grabbing the attention of the qualified motivated buyer. Okay. So again, that is a loss leader. I don't agree with it. I'm just simply showing you what creates a frenzy. And we know that staged homes, like when you think about a builder, and it could be cookie cutter builder, or it could be semi-custom builder, or even custom if the builder owns land and throws up a picture of a floor plan and inside. What are they trying to do? They are creating desire. So write that down. When you get a listing, is your goal, is your intention creating desire? Because here's what I know about homes that linger on the market. They aren't compelling. And it could be the way you've positioned it in the market. And what that means is how does it read? How does the listing description read? How does the client experience? How does the buyer, the prospective buyer, what is their experience when they come across your listing online? And you're like, wait, an experience? Yes. So many of the homes that I did I did research for this last night and a lot of the day yesterday because I want to fortify you with facts, right? So that you can be really tight in what you believe and what your perspective is. And fact of the matter is, the home, the listing is your product, and you are the product manager. And a product manager will never launch a product. I was a product manager um, in corporate. A product manager will never launch a product until it is ready. Until it is ready. Everything is ready. What for what? To be received, to create desire for that product. And so when I did research in the MLS and I see homes that have trash cans, have terrible pictures, and even if they're professional, not all professional photographers know how to photograph interiors. And so what happens is they say, I hear women realtors say, well, I mean, it's only 300,000. I'm not going to pay a lot of money for styling or staging, and I'm not going to expend energy. And I'm just like, wait a minute. The seller hires you to create desire for their home. And so I'm going to tell you how to create desire. You think about the qualified, motivated buyer who wants to live there. Like, we have to get more detailed in who actually wants to live here. Is it a first home, a townhouse, a condo? And if it's a first home, we know something about them. We know that they're scraping every penny they can just to get in the house. So those are more important to be move-in ready. They're more important to be move-in ready. And so, I hear people say, well, for first-time homes, I'm not going to stage them. I'm not going to style them. If you don't know what styling is, it's like picture the Pottery Barn catalog. And you are, your pictures are like catalog pages, pages in a catalog. And the catalog is to like broadcast how amazing this house is. So that's how I approach, and that's how my clients approach a listing. Like, I don't care what the price point is. I'm going to present it exactly the way or as close to the way that the qualified motivated buyers want to see it. And if that means I have to invest in my product in order to get that done, it's worth it. It's worth it. Do you know why? That's how you become a listing queen. That's how you become a listing queen because you will start to get noticed. That's how I became a listing queen. That's how my clients become listing queens because they do more than others in the way the experience. And what is the experience? The minute they click on the house, they get you inside real fast. And it's almost like, and I know I'm not talking about video, video is great, but they also like navigate through the house through the pictures. And there's a whole psychology with respect to how to calm the nervous system because when you buy, it's one of the most stressful things you can ever do. So I know how to calm the qualified and motivated buyers as they're looking through the pictures. There's a whole psychology and a neuroscience to that. So you can reach out to me and ask me about that. But the MLS data that I discovered showed clearly, and I checked different counties. I checked, local to Richmond and slightly away in another MLS through a friend. And here's what I found consistently. And I actually did this last week with one of my VIPs who was here. Excuse me, is that 53%, 53% of the listings lingered for more than 30 days on the market. 47% got under contract in 15 days or less. 15 days or less. Now, if you say, well, guess what? That doesn't happen in my market. Number one, who are you listening to? Do you know that for a fact? Because yesterday on our coaching call, some of the ladies were saying it's getting to be, I forget the word they used, but something the connotation was, oh, it's slowing down. It's not the spring market of yesteryear. And I'm like, yeah, but some of my clients are having their best year. And if you look at the heavy hitters in your market, which I really don't want you to do normally, but maybe for this to prove to you, they're still listing, they're still having closings, they're creating their own economy. They are not listening to the negative noise. So, and who cares if it's a cooled off market? Excellent. Then I'm going to do a little bit more than the other agents, and I'm going to be noticed so much more easily when it's that kind of market. So, ladies, you get to create your own economy. So, 47% of the listings in, I'll say, 3 or 4 different markets that I was able to gather data from in the last 24 hours went under contract in 15 days or less. 15 days or less. And here's what I know. When I then looked for data that had closed in the last 60 days, it was consistent that those homes that got under contract in 15 days or less, on average, closed at 101.8% to list price, almost 102% to list price. What does that mean? Pricing is imperative. If you want your listings to move, you've got to price it so that it is the most beautiful, the most compelling, the most desirous of the other homes in that area, in that price range. And then you're thinking, but my seller wants top dollar because list their myriad reasons. But ladies, when they say that, and I teach my clients this, when they say that, well, let's just try it. We only need one buyer. Well, we need some wiggle room, don't we? Well, let's just try it. Let's just try it and see what happens. And unfortunately, one of the reasons that realtors get a bad rap is because we say, okay, okay. When you can be fortified, like by a coach like me, to say, when they say, let's just try it, you say, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. And you lean in. Let them just talk and listen because they're genuine. They're sincere in what they think. They think they know better. Let them talk. And you say, I love so much that you thought of this. I love it. You acknowledge them. I love so much that you thought of this. Yet here's what I know. Boom. Here's what I know. If you really want to get your house sold for top dollar, the recipe is price it slightly under what you want and present it in a way that is so appealing to the qualified motivated buyers. And that's what I'm expert in because I know who's going to buy this house. And they're like, wait, absolutely. It's going to be a young family. It's going to be a first-time buyer who wants a short commute, for a condo. It's going to be people who want to be homesteaders, people who are wanting to get away from the crazy if it's out in the country. And then you really are a marketer. So you're like, wait, I'm a realtor, I'm a salesperson, now I'm a marketer. Yeah. And it's all blended together. It all flows beautifully together. Please put in the comments the number 5 if this is making sense. 555. I'm almost done only because I have to leave and pick up my amazing VIP client. But I want you to know, again, that your job is to create desire. And if you want more details on how to do this, message me the word, let's say, deets, and then I will share with you how to do this. But I want to share with you a couple more things. When you have a listing appointment, what you need to do is you need to understand how that market is trending. How is that market trending in a couple of factors? Days on market, okay? Like look at those that got under contract and closed 6 months ago, 4 months ago, 2 months ago, and then the ones that just got under contract. So you can see how is days on market trending in this area. Because here's what I know. I know that in order to get your listings under contract, it is very localized. It is very locally specific. Locally, I have so much to say and I wish I could say it. But anyway, the days on market and the average sales price. How is the average sales price in that neighborhood? Or if you don't have a neighborhood in that area, of town, maybe the northeast section of town, how are those average sales prices? Because ladies do not trust, I'll repeat it, do not trust and rely on the MLS spit it out data. It's too general. It's too general. And many women realtors tell me, Jan, I'm not confident pricing listings. So I go in there and do my best. And then when they say, but can we go 30,000 higher than I thought? I feel wobbly. So I have to say, okay, getting specific is the key. Getting local, hyper local, write it down, hyper local expertise is the winning play. Um, okay. I want you to I'm going to share with you some verbiage to use when you are talking to a seller who is fighting you on price. So I've already told you, you let them talk and then you say, wow, I respect you so much because you really thought about this. And I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you the truth. That makes logical sense. I get it. But here's what the data shows. Here's what the MLS data shows. Here's how we're trending. And when you talk differently than any other listing agent, they're going to perk up. And one way that might help you is to say, there's a couple different pricing strategies. In the old days, it was thought, hey, build 10, 20,000 in there for negotiating power. That hasn't worked for 15 years. So I know that's what used to work, but that doesn't work anymore. And then the other one is to price it for what you need. Tell me what you need. We'll price it there and we'll get it done by some miracle. Who knows? Because we can't do that. Although people think it's a strategy. But the reason we can't do it is because it's likely that your buyer is going to be securing a mortgage. And when you secure a mortgage, that mortgagor will require an appraisal. So we have to use data. The winning strategy that is so effective, so much so that I guarantee, okay, now this is what I suggest. If you're not comfortable with guarantees, then text me the word guarantee or message me the word guarantee and we'll have a chat. But the way that the winning strategy right now is to price it under where you want it. And the reason for that is because then we get more eyes, more people looking at the home. And my goal is to present to you multiple offers so that it's not just you and one buyer negotiating. Instead, we can go back to all of them and say, I need your highest and best. And guess what? When we want what we can't have, we want what we can't have. We want what everybody else wants. And so that's my job because your home is amazing. It's the best product. And I want to be the product manager, the chosen realtor, so that I can see you at the closing table with the biggest grin on your face, with your eyes popping out, looking at the proceeds that are being deposited into your account. That's what I'm here for. Now, I've got to go, got to get in the car in a minute. Put a 10 if this has been helpful and share it. Tag a friend here. I'm leaving this open, public. And I want you to tag a realtor friend who needs to hear the truth if they have listings that linger. I will talk to y'all soon. I hope you enjoyed this CEO sit down with Jan because you are a CEO. Talk to you soon.